leaders of residents association, representatives of government ministries, departments and agencies, service providers and regulators, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. It is my great honor and privilege as the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution in Harare Metropolitan Province to warmly welcome you all to the annual Resident Service Delivery Conference organized by the Zimbabwe National Organization of Associations and Residents Trust, ZINOT. I am particularly delighted that this important gathering is taking place here in Harare, the capital city and the administrative heart of our nation. Allow me to extend a sincere welcome to all residents representatives in here, government officials, regulators, utilities, development partners, and service providers who have taken time to participate in this conference. Your presence here today reflects a shared commitment to strengthening dialogue, cooperation, and accountability in order to improve the quality of service delivery for our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, service delivery remains one of the most critical issues affecting the everyday lives of our citizens. Access to reliable water supply, efficient waste management, electricity, road infrastructure, transportation systems, housing, and the urgent challenge of drug and substance abuse all require our collective attention and coordinated action. These are not merely administrative matters. These are issues that directly affect the dignity, well-being, and economic productivity of our people. It is therefore essential that all stakeholders, government institutions, local authorities, service providers, and residents themselves work together in a spirit of transparent accountability and partnership. The role of Residents Association in this process cannot be overstated. These organizations represent the voices of citizens at the grassroots level and play a vital role in promoting community participation, civic responsibility, and constructive engagement with public institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, as we deliberate during this conference, I encourage all participants to engage openly, share innovative ideas, and work collaboratively towards solutions that will strengthen our systems and improve the lives of our citizens. Let us use this platform not only to discuss challenges, but also to build partnerships, commitment, and practical actions that will drive real and measurable progress in service delivery. As government, we remain committed to working hand in hand with residents, local authorities, the private sectors, and civic organizations to build cities that are clean, modern, efficient, and responsive to the needs of our people. Together, through dialogue, cooperation, and shared responsibility, we can transform our communities and create better future for all Zimbabweans. Once again, I warmly welcome you all to the Harare Metropolitan Province and wish you fruitful deliberations and successful conference. I thank you.
Usually we all stand when the minister is here, isn't it? I think let us accord him that respect and give him another round of applause as he takes his seat. Thank you very much. Otherwise, he will get there and tell the minister that, Chef, So I think at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to call upon my big brother, the chairperson of the Zimbabwe National Organization of Association Residents Trust, to come through and give us the conference overview, just to tell us a little bit why we're here. I know we probably have an idea, but let us hear it from the horse's mouth. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to call upon Mr. S.S. Chikomba to come through. If anything, please give him a big round of applause for the nice jacket that he's wearing.
Thank you so much, our program director, Chief Koti. Does this mean that you are a chief? Oh, okay. Your Majesty. Thank you so much. Distinguished salutations to our Honorable Minister of State for Provincial Affairs, Honorable Senator Sizeta Wengwa, represented by Engineer Rukuni. My salutations as well to the Chairperson, the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Local Government and Public Works, Honorable Dr. Maximo Njanji, and his committee members who are here. I'm told that we will have the Chairperson of the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Sports, Arts and Recreation Culture, Honorable Farajeri, I'm sure he's on his way. His Worship, the Mayor of Harare, Councillor Jacob Mafume, I'm sure he's represented by Councillor Utete. Commissioner Rumbidzai Memezvimba from ZAC, I'm sure she's here. We have got the President of the Rural District Councils of Zimbabwe, Councillor Dr. Shamu. Our Synod consultant and local government expert, my good friend, Ms. Erica Jones. Thank you for coming. Representatives of government institutions, regulatory authorities, and service providers. Leaders of residents associations who are our affiliates, the residents themselves. When I'm talking about the residents, I'm talking about every one of you. You are a resident one way or the other of our beautiful country, Zimbabwe. So I'm sure you came here to meet your leader. Here I am. Distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you. It is my great honor and privilege as the National Chairman of the Zimbabwe National Organization of Associations and Residents Trust, Synod, to welcome you all to the annual Resident Service Delivery Conference 2026. The theme for this year's conference is Citizen-Centric Service Delivery, Putting Residents First. I think it's self-explanatory. The residents first. Today marks a historic milestone as we convene this important national platform, as it sets the tone for meaningful engagement, collaboration, and accountability. Allow me to extend my sincere appreciation to the Synod National Executive Council for organizing this important event. A special recognition goes to the Harare Metropolitan Province Chairman, Mr. Brian Bauer, for hosting this year's conference. Mr. Bauer, maybe if you can stand up, you have made this happen. That's our Synod Harare Metropolitan Province. Thank you so much. You understand that Harare is Zimbabwe, so you've got a great task ahead of you. This gathering marks the beginning of what will become an annual national platform for dialogue, accountability, and collective action, rotating across all provinces of Zimbabwe. Allow me to go a little bit and tell you more about the organization Synod. This is an apex body representing residents and resident associations registered in accordance with the laws of Zimbabwe. Our focus include service delivery, community development, infrastructure development, gender and social welfare, environment and waste management, health care, transparency and accountability, and last but not least, drug and substance abuse. I'm proud to state that ZNOT is represented across all the 10 provinces of Zimbabwe with a growing membership of over 30,000 residents, working towards a target of 100,000 members by 2030. That side where ZNOT members are seated, I'm happy to say we've got 10 chairpersons from our different provinces who are here. Our 11th province couldn't make it. The 11th province is the ZNOT diaspora one. They couldn't make it in time. A reality check of the state of service delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, we must begin by confronting with the truth. Across Zimbabwe, service delivery remains a serious challenge. Intermittent water supply in urban communities, unreliable electricity supply, deteriorating road infrastructure, inefficient waste management systems, environment degradation and wetland encroachment. In many communities, residents go for weeks or days without water. Business lose productivity due to power outages. Road become impassable, affecting safety and economic activity. We therefore call upon the Minister of Transport Infrastructure to complement its commendable work on major highways, which it is doing by prioritizing residential road rehabilitation. Kwatinogara hakuna road. We need to zvitariswa nema councils and the Minister of Transport as well. As rightly said, the true measure of any institution is not in policy, but in the quality of service delivered to its people. And as Peter Drucker said, it reminds us what gets measured gets managed. We acknowledge the government's-led initiatives and public-private partnerships. For example, in Harare, the Geopomona Waste Management Initiative, the prepaid smart water metering systems by Elcro, which they've done in Harare and in Karoi. These are commendable steps. However, residents must be included in planning and implementation, because inclusion promotes transparency and accountability and sustainability. Let me go to the issue of electricity as a national priority. Electricity is no longer a luxury, it is a necessity. Without reliable power, hospitals cannot function effectively, schools cannot deliver quality education, businesses cannot grow, communities cannot develop. We therefore call upon for investments in renewable energy, particularly solar. We are very advantaged where we are in terms of geographically. Southern Africa, we've got a lot of sun here. I'm sure we must take advantage of that. We call upon investment in renewable energy, particularly solar, expansion of community-based energy systems, and strengthen public-private partnerships in energy. As ZNOT, we believe engagement is our strongest tool. We must build a system where residents are organized, informed, and active, as we are doing today. And government should provide leadership and direction and deliver on their policies. Service providers deliver efficiently and transparently. Zimbabwe belongs to all of us, and development must be collective, supporting government and driving results. As ZNOT, we fully support all issues to improve service delivery. We are happy that we have seen progress and we recognize it in road rehabilitation programs, policy reforms, local governance, efforts to stabilize essential services. However, development must not be planned, it must be felt by every resident. Our vision of upper middle level service delivery, ladies and gentlemen, our ambition must be clear. We are not advocating for minimum standards. We are advocating for upper middle level service delivery. This includes reliable water supply, consistent electricity, clean and safe environments, functional infrastructure, efficient and accountable governance. We further call for mandatory national participation in the national cleanup, which the government has declared that it must be held every first Friday of the month. Establishment of affordable rehabilitation centers, that's for drugs and substance abuse. Improved healthcare services. Zero tolerance to corruption. Residents deserve not just services, but quality services. This conference is about empowering. We must move from complaining to participating, observing to monitoring, accepting to demand accountability. An informed and organized community is the strongest driver of development of any country. Later on today, we will celebrate excellency through the Residents' Appreciation and Certification Ceremony, that is later today. This initiative will reward performance, encourage innovation, promote accountability. Ladies and gentlemen, let this conference not be a talk show. Let it produce clear resolutions, measurable outcomes, strong partnerships. Let us commit. No community should be left behind. No resident should be ignored. No institution should operate without accountability. In conclusion, the Zimbabwe National Organization of Associations and Residents Trust will remain committed to championing residents' voices, strengthening collaboration, promoting transparency and accountability, supporting national development. As we deliberate today, let us produce resolutions that will transform lives across Zimbabwe. Together, we can transform our communities. Together, we can improve service delivery. Together, we can build a Zimbabwe where every resident receives the quality of service they deserve. I thank you.
Thank you so much, the chairman. Please, can you just give him another round of applause for articulating matters clearly. I think we're now clear why we're here, isn't it? Are we?
Yeah. Yes.
Zulubuda.
Yeah.
Ngatifambe inanya yacho naye. Toko na kuwaomberera maoko because nasindo wari kundibata. Chairman. Tinotenda kuti nzakunonasa. Unoziva kubva kwandobva kure chaiko chaiko. Bedi bridge. Ndakutaura nyaya dzekuno. Asi mambo ndi mambo naye. Anongotonga kwese. Ladies and gentlemen, I think he did say that at the end of the day today, we have to come out of here, takabata, my resolutions, aripo, anooneka, nai. And the idea also is to make sure that we leave this building organized and fulfilled. And above everything else, our relations with government institutions and service providers must be strengthened by all means possible. True. So at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we work with a lot of service providers as residents, as government institutions. Allow me to call upon a brother of mine as well, who is representing the managing director at Helpro Water, Mr. Mushati. He's the human resources director there, and he will be speaking on behalf of the MD. Like I've said, we want to focus on the issue of smart water management systems being a catalyst for effective and efficient as well as accountable service delivery. So shall we give him a round of applause as he comes through, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you, Director of Ceremony. Allow me to greet the Honorable Minister for Harare Metropolitan Province, Honorable Sita Bengwa, and also allow me, in the interest of time, the Director of Ceremony said they are doing very well on time, so allow me to write on already established protocol. Like the Director of Ceremony said, I'm representing the Managing Director, Mr. Zodek Mchoko, who is away on some other business. It is my singular honor to present on smart water management system as a catalyst for efficient and accountable service delivery. So before I go into my presentation, allow me to speak a bit about Helpro Water. Who are we and what do we aim to achieve as a company? And then we'll talk about our relationship with the city of Harare and the government of Zimbabwe. Okay, so in terms of our vision as a Helpro Water, we intend to be the leading innovative service provider in the treatment of water, its supply and distribution, to make sure that that water is clean and safe for all our customers. And we target the African market for now. In terms of our mission, we intend to protect the public health by supplying sustainable quality water services through advanced purification methods, modern distribution networks, and accurate readings. So we are going to emphasize more on innovation and modernization. So this is going to be more of our thrust. So you are going to see that in terms of the focus of our mandate, we're going to be talking about more about modernization. Modernization, the infrastructure, the treatment methods, and also the accountability in terms of the metering system, which is the main thrust of this presentation. So in terms of our core values, I think they are there for everyone, but mainly to note that it's more to do with quality and community engagement. We need to be more visible to the communities that we serve, because this is a product that's consumed by the residents and who are our clients. So we are going to be doing more of engagements. So if you look at where we are working currently, you find that most our PR, our public relations for Helpro and City of Harare are actually at the forefront of talking and engaging the residents. We've had several meetings in Warren Park, in Wesley, Mowbray, where we're talking to the residents to understand what we intend to achieve and also get feedback from them in terms of how we are also faring in that regard. So in terms of our introduction, the project that we are currently working on is a public-private partnership which involves the government of Zimbabwe, the City of Harare, and Helpro. So we're working as a tripartite. And this is a build, operate, and transfer. So we're not taking the role of the City of Harare of delivering water to the people, but we're going to build and then operate and then transfer to them at the agreed time in terms of the contract. Our aim also is to improve water supply through infrastructure rehabilitation. So what we're doing is we are going to be working on Morton Jeffrey to increase the water supply from Morton Jeffrey, and then also work on making sure that water is available to more residents than the current situation. I'm going to talk about that as we go. And then also smart water meters. This is our scope. So in terms of the current challenges that the city is facing, which is then affecting water delivery to the residents, there's aging water infrastructure and pipelines. You find that there's a lot of challenges at Morton Jeffrey where some pumps are not working. So what we are going to do is that we're going to install and revive all the pipes, the meters that the pumps that are not working. Currently, they are not receiving water from Darwin, so they are relying more on Chivera. So we've already bought pumps that are going to draw water from Darwin, so that we increase the raw water supply to Morton Jeffrey. They also have a challenge with frequent water leaks in pipe base. I think this is a common, or what used to be a common sight in most of our residents and some of the roads, that you see that there's no water at your house, but apparently you see some water gushing out somewhere. So this is also a challenge that then affects water delivery at our homes. And then also leakages. You find some leakage, either some area where you find some green grass and it's a dry season, and that's a sign that some water is also leaking and also irrigating that particular area. And then there's also weak water revenue collection mechanisms. Currently, the city, before we came into the partnership, and also in some of the areas that we have not yet put some prepaid water meters, the city of Harare is relying on postpaid. So residents use water, and then after use, they then pay to the city. So whoever does not have money or chooses not to pay, that means the city will not have enough money. The money which is required for them to buy those pipes that we're talking about, there's a pipe based, they don't have the money to then buy pipes to replace, or they also don't have money to treat the water at Morton Jeffrey. The estimate that I have is they use approximately $2 million a month to treat water at Morton Jeffrey. So if the city does not get money from the residents, it means they also don't have money to treat the water at Morton Jeffrey to then deliver to our homes. Then there's also a rising urban population. I'm sure I don't have the numbers, but we can all see that there are so many new suburbs that are being established, which is a form of development that is happening in our country. But we also need corresponding service delivery to those new suburbs. So therefore, we are in this partnership to try and attempt to solve some of those challenges that I have highlighted. So in terms of our strategic objectives as HELCRO, in terms of the contract, we are supposed to increase water treatment capacity by about 80 megaliters per day. The estimate that I have currently is that the city is delivering, or the capacity that Morton Jeffrey is delivering per day is around 350 megaliters per day. And the installed capacity of Morton Jeffrey is around 600 megaliters. So in terms of our mandate, we are supposed to increase the water treatment capacity to around 520 megaliters per day. And then we also need to reduce non-revenue water from the current 60% to around 35%. This is water that I said is lost. This is treated water. So the cost of treating water has already been incurred. And now that water, when it is now moving from the treatment plant to our residents, by those leaks and pipe base, we're losing approximately 60% of that water. improve revenue collection from 48% to around 90%. So currently, revenue collection for the water that has been delivered to our homes around 48%. So our mandate is to increase that to around 90%. And then increase household water coverage from about 48% to 75%. I talked about the new suburbs that has been established. And there are also already established areas in Borodale that were not also receiving water. I think those that stay and drive around that area, you'll see that around Addington Lane, we have a team there that is also putting in some pipes to make sure that that area also receives water. In terms of the scope, like I said, we are working on Morton Jeffrey by putting in some pumps there, and then so that we increase the capacity, like I said, from the number always changes sometimes. So it's either sometimes around 350, but there's a lot of work that has happened since the inception of the contract that has moved it to around 420. And the work continues until we get to 520. So this is a picture of Morton Jeffrey for those that have not been there. So it's just a pictorial view of the water treatment plant. And then once the water the raw water has been treated and is now moving to our residents, I talked about the challenge of loss of non-revenue water. You will find that on that picture. What I'm showing is the old asbestos pipe that has been bringing water to our residents. We're replacing that with PVC pipes. For those that are environmentally conscious, you understand that there is a lot of campaigns against the use of asbestos pipes. So we also doing away with those and then putting the PVC, which are economically, environmentally friendly and also cleaner. I'm sure for some of those that have been complaining that no, the water is coming, but sometimes it's coming a bit dirty. This is one of the causes that we've been using very old asbestos pipes, which were installed long back. So we're doing away with those ones. So I'm also showing our teams that are on the ground. As you can see, there's a TOB there, and then the team that are then installing the PVC pipes. So we're removing those old pipes, like I said, and then use PVC pipes. And in terms of the contract, we are supposed to do 500 kilometers of pipe replacement. This excludes the new suburbs that I talked about. And then this will reduce leaks and improve the reliability of water supply to the residents. In terms of the attempting to reduce the issues around revenue collection, we putting in smart water meters. So the project started in December 2025 with a pilot that we did at Herbert Staple at some flats, where we installed 48 prepaid water meters to check if the system is working before we do the rollout. So after that, you said that we are supposed to do 320,000 prepaid water meters for Harare. These are from the records of the people that are currently connected to the distribution network. So for phase one, because the project is in 3 phases, for phase one we are supposed to do 100,000 smart meters, and then of the 100,000 that we are supposed to do in year one, 23,000 as of today have already been installed. And like I said, we started off in Warren Park, and then we moved to Wesley, then went to meters that we took when the first batch of in Southampton. So the HEOCROS innovation impact on service delivery. Okay, sorry, they jumped. So I will talk briefly about the advantages to the residents and the advantages to the city about this concept of prepaid smart water meters. So currently the city is using estimates. I think for those that are older than me or almost my age, you used to get a City of Harare meter reader coming to your house, and then they will come and then take your reading, and then they will bill you according to the reading that they've taken. But they've still stopped that. They are now using estimates. So with estimates is you may have used the water or not have used the water, but they'll still bring the same bill to you. So the advantage of the smart water meter is that you are now using for what you have consumed. So you prepay, you use it. Once it runs out, you then pay up, you buy the water. So that's advantage that accrue to the residents. But the same advantage also accrues to the city in terms of getting money real time. So there's also real-time monitoring of water consumption. So there are no more estimates, even in terms of this to the city, to say they know how much they've produced. They also know how much has been consumed. So the system can monitor the water from Morton Jeffrey up to the household. We also have zonal, what we call zonal meters, that can also measure the amount of water that would have been delivered to a suburb, for example, Sunningdale. So the city can know that they delivered so much water to Sunningdale, and they also can also track how much has also been paid in terms of the water that has been consumed. Improved City of Harare revenue collection, I can't overemphasize that point. So in terms of innovation, this initiative also reduces water losses. Like I said, in terms of the replacement of old aged pipes, and also in terms of also accounting for the water. Like I said, there's an accountable, we can account for the water from Morton Jeffrey to someone's household. And then the improvement in revenue collection and also transparency. Like I gave an example where a meter reader would come, take a reading, and then charge you. But in this case, there is greater transparency that you are actually consuming and paying for what you have consumed. So I think I will move on to the conclusion. So smart water systems, which are being adopted, I think the world over, some local African countries that are on this same system, I can talk about South Africa. And we are also taking this concept from China. We also intend to roll it out also to Uganda. We had some engagement with them, and also Mozambique. So this system are transforming Harare water supply through innovation, accountability, and sustainable infrastructure development. So Heokro Water interventions illustrate how smart water management systems extend beyond technology alone. And the integration of digital metering, infrastructure rehabilitation, and increased treatment capacity is creating a more efficient and accountable water service delivery framework to our residents. Thank you very much.
So, let's give him another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I think there's a lot of technology there that's coming, yeah? And I hope it will help us to ease the challenges that we have, particularly here in Harare, isn't it? Huh? I'm not sure if we have a representative from the mayor's office this morning. Do we? Very good. So allow me at this point in time to request the presence of the representative of His Worship, Councillor Jacob Mafome, the mayor of this beautiful Sunshine City, the city of Harare, to come and address us on behalf of His Worship. Let's encourage the gentleman as he comes. I'm sure he will explain to us whether the mayor is coming or not. But I'm a bit worried about the vehicle itself. I've seen quite a number of articles about it. Our beautiful black, is it a Bentley? It's a Rolls Royce. Ladies and gentlemen, your mayor.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. Like he said, it's very difficult for me, especially, to be representing the mayor. When I arrived outside, I didn't know how to introduce myself. Do I say, Mafume has arrived? Do I say, I have arrived?
Mafume has arrived.
But anyway, I am here representing the mayor, Councillor Jacob Mafume. He got tied up just before he was supposed to be here. So if I'm not very ready, it's him who is not ready. Let me honor the presence of the Minister of State for Harare Province, Councillor and Senator CZ Tarema, and also allow me to write on the already observed protocol. Coming after Heogro as the city of Harare to present something, you already are just summarizing because they represent city of Harare. That's what we are doing at city of Harare. Mr. Koti, whatever Heogro was saying, that's what Jacob is doing at the city of Harare. Harare aims to be a livable and smart city of choice by 2030. If you see our vehicles written something which is not what I've said, please tell those guys to come and re-update. We used to say something about 2025. We no longer say so. This entails the availability of services such as water, seamless waste management systems, good roads, and all the amenities in order to achieve the smart city that we are talking of. We want to move in line with what the government is saying. We have realized that being antagonistic derails progress. So this council, which is led by Mafume, is saying we run in sync with what government is doing. The strategy that we have developed is moving from traditional overburdened municipal models to robust public-private partnerships, such as the one we have just heard of Heogro. We also are in partnership with Geo Pomona. Whatever the good that Geo is producing, whoever visits Geo should know that he has visited City of Harare. The city cannot do it alone. Collaboration with specialized private partnerships like Geo Pomona and Heogro is the solution for long-standing infrastructure challenges. Geo Pomona waste management from dump site to power plant. Operational excellence. The transformation of the former Pomona dump site into a world-class waste-to-energy facility under a 30-year build, operate, transfer system is giving us good results. I'm sure people can now pass through Geo, eating whatever sabatinas you have without hearing any trench as like before. What key impact areas does that bring? It brings sustainability, elimination of fire outbreaks and air pollution that previously affected the whole disposable site. Once fully operational, the plant will generate around 16 to 20 megawatts of electricity, feeding into the national grid and supporting the city's energy needs. A state-of-the-art sorting plant is now divesting recyclable material such as metal, plastics, and glass from the landfills, moving towards a zero waste to landfill policy. The project also provided employment to hundreds of workers, including former municipal workers who had been integrated into that system. Vese vaimboshanda ku Harare West takavaendesa ku GEO. And I'm sure GEO now employs more than 1,000 people. So that also brought a lot of employment to our community. The Yeokro Water Project, I may not need to get into it, otherwise I will confuse what the good gentlemen have said. But that again is bringing in new technology to the city. We hope in the near future we will not have problems with water. What they are doing, yes, it is in us as human beings to always find problems with anything new. But I hope as they go, we will acclimatize ourselves, integrate and understand where we want to take each and every one of us to. Whatever the generality of the people wishes is what we also wish, is what Yeokro also wish, is what government also wish. So at the end of the day, results will eventually come. We are expanding our focus on public-private partnerships. PPs are essential in leveraging private expertise and capital for public benefit. Through PPs, we are efficiently delivering projects while sharing risks and rewards. This collaborative approach will enable us to innovate and improve service delivery. The following is a summary of current projects. We also have the Shawasha market. The market was already constructed and is now operational. The other one which will affect that area called Tsiga, works in progress, and Glenview operation is also work in progress. We will have to move people here and there so that we achieve world class, which is the best word for everyone. World class, I don't know which world we will be talking of, but it's always called world class. We will also be part of that world class through our SMEs. The water, there is also the rehabilitation of wastewater. You understand these days there is a lot of sewer based. We will do the same way that Yeokro is doing. And that again, there is a PP which is already in the making and it's still lying at Zida as of now. So that we also replace the wastewater sewer pipes. The idea is to renew the city by 2030. While we appreciate the role of partnerships, we still need to improve capacity to manage these in a way that provides mutual benefit and ensure delivery of sustainable and affordable service delivery. If we still have patches of complaints from here and there, those complaints will enable us to move forward. But my clarion call to all of us who are here is for us to understand that the city of Harare cannot move without you. You are the engine of service delivery. You are the fuel, not this expensive one, but the fuel of service delivery. Without residents and without residents leadership like Zenot, which who are here, city of Harare will find it difficult. I am hesitant here to say our revenue collection is very, very low. But I would say your contribution is not up to what we expect. It is these revenues that we collect from residents which makes us tick. It's difficult for us to then say, but you are not That's why we move the smart way of smart meters. Not sure how we will do it in other areas, but we will always find a solution. But we also say, please help us to achieve what we all aspire. I thank you.
Your worship, thank you very much. Yeah, the fuel is expensive. I think he raises quite a pertinent issue there, just to pick there, about the revenue issue. When you do collect the few dollars that you collect, we see the action. And we want to see it more on service delivery and not the fuel. I'm speaking as a resident of Harare. So in as much as we want to help you to collect, today all these leaders who are here, they will go back and tell the other residents that it is absolutely imperative if we are to succeed as a city for us to pay on time and regularly. Kanatina challenges to know where to tell our payment plans now. So shall we give them another round of applause for the work that they are doing? I think the much publicized Pomona deal is bearing fruit. I wanted to tell this to the other mayor, who's not you, that we are seeing the fruit of Pomona. Are we not? If you live in Harare, you almost have a schedule now where these guys will bring their trucks there and they start, collecting. And I think for that alone, we would really like to commend the city. It's a great, great, great job. And I do hope again with Helcro, we will see the same with our water situation in Harare. We hope it will improve. Chairman, Tauro was a resident, Kwetesa MC on Mabatala Slime. And no Rati was and no father was carrying his music. I watched a very great interview that the mayor did a couple of weeks ago with the legendary Teach Matters. I think you need to go and see it, so you also understand what the city is doing. He articulated matters much, much better than he always does when he's on the podium like us here, because we are under pressure. The politician will attest to please those that are listening to us half the time. But I like the trajectory that the city has taken also to work hand in glove with government. We've seen a lot of clashes many times, isn't it? Between government and the local authorities because of partisan lines. But it is great to see works, Honorable Njanji, to come through and talk to us about parliamentary oversight and accountability in local government service delivery. And I must say that he'll be the last speaker before we go for tea. So if it takes long, it's in the nature of politicians to do so. Please forgive him. Honorable, please come through, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Events Director. Allow me to recognize the Minister of Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Harare Metropolitan Province, Honorable Charles Z. Tawengwa, here represented by Engineer Rukuni. Also, Harare City Mayor, His Worship, Jacob Mafume, represented by Councillor Utete. Then the Zimbabwe National Organization of Association President's Trust, Chairperson, Mr. S. Chikomba. Also allow me to ride on the protocol already established. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor to address this important Zimbabwe National Organization of Associations Residents Trust National Service Delivery Conference under the theme Citizen Participation and Constitutional Mandate of Local Governance, which lies at the very heart of our constitutional democracy. Allow me at the onset to anchor my remarks in the Constitution of Zimbabwe, which provides the foundation for governance architecture, which we are all duty-bound to uphold. Ladies and gentlemen, Section 3, subsection 2G of the Constitution enshrines good governance as a founding value and principle of our state. Closely linked to this is Section 3, subsection 2(1), which underscores the importance of devolution and decentralization of government powers and functions. These provisions are binding constitutional imperatives that require all institutions, particularly local authorities, to ensure that governance is conducted in a manner that is transparent, accountable, and responsive, and that governance is taken closer to the citizenry, thereby ensuring people-centered development. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to place particular emphasis on the critical role of parliamentary oversight and public accountability in local governance. Section 299 of the Constitution provides that, I quote, Parliament must monitor and oversee expenditure by the state and all commissions and institutions and agencies of government at every level, including statutory bodies, government-controlled entities, provincial and metropolitan councils, and local authorities, of course. Complementing this section, Section 119, subsection of the Constitution clearly provides that Parliament has a power to ensure that the provisions of this Constitution are upheld and that the state and all institutions and agencies of government at every level act constitutionally and in the national interest. In addition, ladies and gentlemen, subsection 3 further states that, I quote, for the purposes of this section, all institutions and agencies of state and government at every level are accountable to Parliament. So to this end, the Standing Order number 17 of National Assembly operationalizes this constitutional provision by constituting the public to ensure that the public funds are utilized lawfully, efficiently, and effectively. These provisions collectively underscore that the local authorities are not operating in isolation, but within a robust accountability framework where Parliament, on behalf of citizens, exercises vigilant oversight over public resources and service delivered. Ladies and gentlemen, in this regard, Section 149, subsection 1 of the Constitution provides that, and I quote, every person has the right to petition Parliament to consider any matter within its authority, including the enactment, amendment, or repeal of legislation. Of course, this provision is a vital pillar in the development matrix of the nation as it empowers citizens to directly bring issues of concern to Parliament and to trigger accountability processes within the governance systems. Ladies and gentlemen, it is in the spirit of this constitutional mandate that the Portfolio Committee on Local Government, Public Works and National Housing has intensified its oversight activities. Recently, the committee undertook an oversight visit to Chipinge Town Council following a petition from the residents alleging financial mismanagement, nepotism, and poor service delivery. This intervention is a clear demonstration of the constitutional provision in action, where citizens exercise their constitutional right to petition Parliament, and Parliament in turn responded decisively by exercising its oversight function, thereby reinforcing that the principle of governance must always remain accountable to the people. Ladies and gentlemen, furthermore, I wish to highlight that the committee will, from the 22nd to the 29th of March 2026, embark on finding visits to selected local authorities across all the 10 provinces in the country. These visits will focus on critical service delivery areas including water supply, sanitation, sewer reticulation, refuse collection, and housing delivery. The objective is to assess performance, identify gaps, and ensure that local authorities are meeting their constitutional obligations to their citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, these oversight mechanisms must be understood as complementary to the broader constitutional framework on local governance. Section 265, subsection 1A of the Constitution provide that local authorities must ensure good governance by being effective, transparent, accountable, and coherent. This provision captures the essence of what service delivery must look like. That is efficient, responsive, and rooted in accountability. Equally important, Section 264, subsection 2 of the Constitution makes it clear that one of the key objectives of devolution is to affirm that governance is a shared responsibility between institutions and citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, although active citizen engagement, local authorities are better able, aligned, empowers citizens to monitor. Through active citizen engagement, local authorities are better able to align their budgets with communities' priorities, development inclusive development plans, and ensure that projects reflect the real needs of the people. Participation also empowers citizens to monitor and evaluate service delivery, thereby strengthening accountability and improving outcomes. Where citizens are excluded, service delivery becomes misaligned, inefficient, and unsustainable. Ladies and gentlemen, effective service delivery is inseparable from sound financial management. The ability of local authorities to deliver quality services is directly linked to how well they manage public resources. In this regard, the Public Finance Management Act, Chapter 22, provides a critical framework by requiring public resources to be managed in a manner that ensures transparency, accountability, economy, and efficiency. Allow me to, at this juncture, to acknowledge His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, for his current call for no compromise to service delivery. This call has set the tone for the improved performance across all local authorities. I also commend the Ministry of Local Government and Public Works for operationalizing this vision through the Minimum Service Delivery Standards Framework, which provides clear benchmarks in key service delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, local authorities remain central to the realization of our national development aspirations under National Development Strategy 2 and Vision 2030. However, achieving these aspirations requires innovation, particularly in the face of resource constraints. Public-private partnerships have emerged as a viable instruments for enhancing service delivery. We are already witnessing the power of triple Ps in Harare, the City of Harare's partnership with Geopomona Waste Management Company has improved waste management services, while collaboration with HealthPro Water is modernizing water metering systems and rehabilitating infrastructure. These partnerships, when properly structured, can transform service delivery. However, they must always be guided by transparency, accountability, and public interest. As Parliament, we remain steadfast in our commitment to ensuring that constitutional provisions are upheld, public resources are utilized efficiently, and citizens receive the services they rightly deserve. Through these sacrosanct roles, we seek to strengthen governance systems, promote accountability, and ensure that no one and no place is left behind as we march towards Vision 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge all stakeholders, as I conclude, residents, local authorities, policymakers, and development partners to engage openly and constructively. Let us use this platform to share practical solutions, strengthen accountability mechanisms, and enhance service delivery in our communities. Let us commit to placing citizens at the center of decision-making, fostering inclusive dialogue, embracing innovation and partnerships, and ensuring that service delivery is efficient, equitable, and people-driven. Then I also call everyone into action, the responsible authorities, the residents, the MPs, everyone. I call everyone to action to ensure that our residents, they receive the service delivery they deserve. I so submit. Thank you.
Some of your colleagues, where you are coming from the sloganeering department, I wish they could articulate this vision the way you articulated it today. I think it's very clear. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? After all, it is our country. We must fix it ourselves. There are no solutions that are coming from anywhere, but the solutions are here in the house. Just look at the person sitting next to you and say, you are the solution. Please tell them, say you are the solution. So we must bring proper solutions today, isn't it? And have you noticed something as we break for tea now? I'm a bit colorblind. In fact, I am colorblind. So are most men, isn't it? But this color thing that's going on here, it's beige, right? Would that be the color? Nude. Okay. She says nude, I say beige. But I think they had a memo. We didn't get the memo. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, can we just take a breather just for about 10 or so minutes? And then we come right back into the session. We are doing extremely well behind time. So let's try and catch up. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please do enjoy, and remember to talk to